Hello and happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Don't eat too much. Enjoy football. Whatever you do today, I hope it's a great day with your family or friends. I thought I'd put together some thoughts because this week I've been kind of thinking about Thanksgiving and being thankful. And I imagine we can all remember learning in school that the concept behind Thanksgiving feasts began with the Pilgrims. In 1621, the Plymouth colonists and the Wampanoag, I think I'm saying that right, Native Americans, it's a loose federation of 5 Native American tribes, shared an autumn harvest feast that is acknowledged today as one of the first Thanksgiving celebrations in the colonies. And in those days, Thanksgivings were celebrated by individual colonies and states, and it covered different days and dates and months. There was no one uniform day of Thanksgiving. On Thursday, November 26, 1789, the President George Washington issued a proclamation for a day of public thanksgiving and prayer. In 1863, then President Abraham Lincoln declared that we regularly have a National Day of Prayer in the month of November. In 1865, Thanksgiving was celebrated the first Thursday in November because of a proclamation by then President Andrew Johnson. In 1869, then President Ulysses S. Grant chose the third Thursday of November for Thanksgiving Day. Wow. In 1939, then President Franklin D. Roosevelt moved the holiday to the next to last Thursday of November. 2 years later, President Roosevelt signed legislation establishing Thanksgiving Day as the fourth Thursday in November to begin in 1942. Whew, did you know all that? Well, this week I've been reading from various authors and commentators, their thoughts, some devotionals. What does it actually mean to be grateful? That was kind of my question. I want to begin with something from the Bible, of course. Philippians 4:6 reads, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God." One commentator says that Paul is referring to all of us having a pre-existent attitude of gratitude, a deliberate choice of love over fear, and a desire to be positive instead of negative. And it continues that the word gratitude and grace both come from the same root in the Latin, and that grace produces gratitude. A book I'm currently reading by Diana Butler Bass writes something that you may want to listen to more than once. Kind of follow her train of thought. I had to think about it more and more as I heard it. She writes, "The standard model of gratitude is a closed cycle of gift and return, bound by social obligation and indebtedness, whereby a benefactor, a superior of some sort, someone wealthier or more powerful, provides a benefit for another, a beneficiary, a person in a state of need or trouble. In the closed cycle, the beneficiary is dependent on the benefactor in a way that feels demeaning or signals indebtedness. Few want to be on the receiving end of an unequal transaction." She continues, "If we change a closed system to an open one, banishing transaction and substituting grace, the picture of gratitude shifts. In the closed cycle of debt and duty, the roles of benefactor and beneficiary are static, and gifts are commodities of exchange based on transaction and control. But in an open cycle of gratitude, gifts are not commodities. Gifts are the nature of the universe itself, given by God or the natural order. Grace reminds us that every good gift is a gift from God, that somehow rising of the sun, being alive, are indiscriminate daily offerings to us. And then we understand that all benefactors are also beneficiaries, and all beneficiaries can be benefactors. All that we have was gifted to all of us. There would be no benefactors if they were not first the recipients of grace. In other words, gifts come before givers. We do not really give gifts. We recognize gifts, we receive them, and we pass them along to others. We all rely on these gifts. We all share them. This is not a fulfillment of duty or a single act of kindness, but an infinite process of awareness and responsive action. Like I said, you may want to listen to that again. Another author, a Lakota Native American by the name of Doug Goodfeather, writes, "Each and every morning offers us a chance to start anew, fresh, to begin again. Each morning when we wake, should we choose to listen, is a message from the Creator to remember the privilege we were given of waking up. It's a reminder to get up and prepare ourselves, to honor ourselves, to go out into the world, to connect with Mother Earth and the hearts of other beings, to inspire and encourage those who cross our paths, and most importantly, to enjoy life." Gratitude and generosity are similar virtues, but they differ in that gratitude is an internal characteristic, and generosity is our external expression of our sense of gratitude. Basically, he says, gratitude is how we feel, and generosity is how we express that feeling out in the world. When we engage with the world from a place of gratitude, it's the difference between trying to make something happen and allowing something to happen. The defining difference between effort and effortlessness is the virtue of gratitude. There are two primary reasons. The first is that a person cannot exist in a place of fear and true gratitude at the same time. The second is that gratitude is the doorway to divine intuition, which allows us to be guided by our connection with the Creator. He concludes, frequently when something that we perceive as bad happens to us, we let it affect us in a highly negative way. But if we interact with the world from a place of gratitude, when something happens that others may perceive as bad, we just see the experience as interesting. We are curious about why something happens the way it does, and in expressing that curiosity, we are actively seeking the part of that experience that we are grateful for. From the Allman family, we wish you a blessed Thanksgiving Day, filled with an attitude of gratitude. Many people begin their meal each year by sharing something for which she or he is grateful. Our hope is that all of those individual words of gratitude join with all of the other words of gratitude from across this great nation and rise as a pleasant offering to God, the giver of all good gifts. Thank you for listening. Have a great Thanksgiving Day. God bless.